Okay. Some Democrats need to shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, okay? Listen. The Epstein thing is insane. It's insane. This guy is probably gonna pardon Ghislaine Maxwell. I can't say that bitch's name. She's a sex trafficker. I'm not willing to learn how to pronounce her name, okay? Some Democrats are getting all up in the anal cavities of the Republicans who are like, oh my God, I'm disappointed, da 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 da. And like, then you have some uppity Democrats that are like, well, yeah, you should have known this, da 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 da. Shut up. Shut up. Just be united. Just be united. You're both idiots. You're both dumb, okay? Because a two-party political system doesn't make sense. Think about the complexity of most issues. Think about all of the nuances in most issues. Doesn't make sense. Think about cognitive biases. Think about your experience. Think about how easy it is to feel that you're right. Think about how easy it is to not know the facts. Think about how many of you on both sides are not researching everything. You're both jackasses. It is what it is, okay? Because at the end of the day, both of you guys believed in the government. Both of you guys believed in politics. A lot of people are saying that Trump is a Pedialyte. I know it's kind of messed up to do that, but that's, you know, I don't know what YouTube's going to do, but it makes sense. And honestly, I'm going to give myself some credit because it makes sense, okay? They think he's a Pedialyte, right? And Bill Clinton is on the travel logs too. That's a Democrat. The truth is that it's probably both sides. The truth is that the rich have protected the rich. The truth is what George Carlin said. It's a big club, baby, and you're not in it. You're not in it. You're not in it. I'm not in it. If your income is average, you're not in the club. Even if you're like a millionaire, you're probably still not in the club. You'd have to be like, you know, I'm saying like a millionaire, like maybe 2 to 5 million. You're not in that club. You'd have to have buku money. You would have to have money coming up the ass, up the yin yang, out the nostrils, just every which way possible, okay? It ain't you, baby. It's not you. And so my thing is, I would like to see everyone united. I would like to see everyone united because I think that the political system has to be gutted. The elite need to be held accountable. The tech bros are disgusting. That's what I'm hoping for. But it's not going to be helpful if you have MAGA supporters who are saying like, this is awful, this is terrible, I made a mistake. And then you have other people being like, yeah, well, you did. Shut up. Shut up. It's not going to unite people. It's not going to get everybody on the same page. My belief is that to change these systems, to even make a little ounce of change, make an inkling of a change, millions and millions of us would be needed. Millions of us would be needed to deal with the corruption, to deal with, like, it is corruption on so many levels, okay? It is bribery on so many levels. It is killing people on so many levels. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we would all have to be united. We'd have to present a very strong front. And doing this little BS, this little cocky, well, you should have known from the start, Biden wasn't all there. My grandma had dementia and then Alzheimer's before she passed. There were a lot of symptoms that Biden showed that my grandmother also had. He wasn't all there. So I don't think it's fair to then go to Republicans and be like, you see, you guys voted for him. As opposed to what? As opposed to the Democrats pushing Biden. And it's like, once they did that, I was like, yeah, a lot of people are going to lose their trust. And they're like, you really think that Kamala had any ounce of genuineness? You You don't see how corrupt both sides are? You don't see how messed up both sides are? I don't understand. You don't think that, you really believe that if you had voted for Kamala, that everything would have been hunky-dory and everything would have been fine? There's people behind both political parties that have power. There's people behind both political parties that have a lot of money. There's people behind both political parties that dictate, I want this and I want that and I don't want this. Because if it wasn't like that, Nancy Pelosi wouldn't have so much money. That woman is a millionaire so many times over. That's my opinion, allegedly, because I don't want to get sued, even though I'm a very small channel, it doesn't matter. Insider training, right? Political favors, whatever it is, to make it far in politics, you have to have very questionable morals. You gotta make deals where it's like, okay, you're making deals with the devil. You're tap dancing. You're taking him out to eat. You're giving him an ice cream cone. It is what it is. It's a messed up system. It is not a system that rewards the morally uprighteous. It is not a system that rewards people who are kind and compassionate. It is not a system that rewards people that are not wealthy. Okay, give you an example. Damn, I forgot how to say his name, but the new mayor of New York, Mamdani, okay, running on socialist values, his mother is a director. She has access to the Hollywood elite. His father is a professor, I believe at an Ivy League, right? NYU, I think? I'm pretty sure at an Ivy League. He goes to get married in Uganda, and he has private security. Do you know how much security cost? And it's a 3-day festival. You're going to tell me that I called it a festival. It's a 3-day wedding. You're going to tell me that wedding wasn't catered out the ass? His mom has worked in the film industry. You don't think they're friends with the elite? Do you think that they're going to serve them goldfish crackers and, rice cakes? No, they're going to serve them very, very good food. They're going to have it catered. Like, no. And I didn't like the little quote that he put where he was like, depending on your view, I'm sorry or don't worry. Ugh. None of these politicians are worth anything. None of them are worth anything. At the end of the day, they are not going to sacrifice themselves. They're not morally upright. They're always going to be out for themselves. Politics, you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to, there's a certain personality that is attracted to politics, okay? I'm not attracted to politics. Most people aren't, because they'll be like, I have to be fake, I have to be phony, I gotta watch what I say. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I'm not going to be able to sleep at night if I make a decision that's going to affect the well-being of innocent people, right? There is a very specific personality type that is attracted to politics. You can look it up on, I've learned about this in social psychology. There's so much research. The little narcissistic, morally ambiguous, the need for power, those are the people that go into politics. We know this. So I just find it, and yes, I know that Trump was very outlandish, and I know that he was a jerk and all over the place, and I think that there were a lot of Republicans, and of course, like, they're not a monolith like anything else. There's definitely people that voted for him because they had some part of the isms, whether it's racism or sexism or whatever it is. But it's disingenuous to say that was his whole, party, right? The same way it's disingenuous to be like, and Democrats, they're all angels. Like, no, it's not how it works, right? And so I'm sure that there were people who voted for him because they were like, politics does suck. And because he just says it like it is, you know, they almost put like the great white hope in him. Like, yeah, this is going to be the guy that changes the narrative. This is going to be the guy that cleans up Washington and all this. And no, it was a pipe dream. Not going to happen. Because if he really, really, really was going to change things, right? If he was really, really going to change things and really like do things that were gonna benefit the public and change the system, he would be dead. They'd kill him. They would shoot him in the head. They'd probably kill his kid, probably kill his wife. They'd complete, you know, we all know, because we know I'm not allowed to say this word, even that's stupid, because context should matter, but whatever. You know what I mean? Like, the people with unlimited resources, people with an insane amount of money, people that could just, I mean, it probably doesn't even have to be a conversation. They probably just look at each other, do a little head nod, and it's understood, and then someone's killed. Someone's brains are splattered on the wall. So everybody's dumb. Everybody's broken. None of these institutions that we have put faith in, none of them are real. I think there's always been like an inkling of that, right? There's a different legal system for rich people than there is for poor people. We've known that for a long time, right? And we see little hints of that. And we're like, you know, but the world isn't fair. And you mourn it, maybe you make a documentary, you chalk it up, and you just deal with life, right? Now, the highest position of power is talking about pardoning a sex trafficker. So she gives a clean bill of he had nothing to do with anything. If that isn't the epitome of corruption, if that isn't the epitome of just, what is it, quid pro quo to the highest, most corruptible level. Think about that. Quid pro quo for a sex trafficker of children, exchanging with the president of the United States a like, get out, you're good, a clean bill of you did nothing wrong. It's insane. It's insane. I don't know how people still have faith in institutions. And I think it does show you certain aspects of the human spirit, right? Damn, I forgot the name of the experiment, but it has to do with obedience, and it's with electric shocks. And people come in and they are administering electric shocks to a person, but they can't see the person, and so they're not actually administering it. The person is an actor. The scientist who's conducting the experiment, you know, all of the, like, they're setting this up, right? And so the person starts administering the electroshots, and then they could hear the person like screaming, they could hear them freaking out, and the majority of people kept doing it, even though they felt uncomfortable, even though they felt bothered by it. You could see they had a visceral response. The majority of people carried out the experiment, and they carried out the experiment to the point where like the person like passes out and like you don't hear anything anymore. Personalities that go against being obedient, it's very specific, and it's not the average. So I don't know how much it's gonna matter for all of these systems to show us that they're fake, right? Because the majority of people will be obedient. The majority of people have kids to raise, they got jobs to go to, they got bills to pay. We're not united. They've separated us based on race and gender and religion. So a lot of people are going to keep going down the obedience trail because they're like, well, I don't have a community that's going to help me if I can't pay my bills, or if I, you know, if my child needs something. They've set up a system where it doesn't matter if they lie to us. it doesn't even matter if the truth gets out. It really doesn't. I know I sound very pessimistic, and I want to be a person of optimism and hope, but I'm also, that's part of reality. It doesn't look like it's going to change anything. It doesn't look like it's going to affect anything. How many people that have just graduated are facing rates of unemployment? But people are still using AI. People are still using ChatGPT. I talked to somebody and and it completely turned me off. I was like, oh my God, please stop talking to me. I don't want to talk to you. But, and not like that, just, you know, someone I was friendly with. And, you know, he talked about how he wants to use ChatGPT to make money. And I was like, you're demonstrating, right, that there's a need for it, and there's no reason for them to back down, you know. And again, there's no guarantee. Like, if everybody just stopped going to work, if everybody said, no, I'm not gonna go to Google, I'm not gonna do any of this, if everyone really, like, just what's that called, damn, because I'm like sitting, but that's not it. Boycotted. If people boycotted their jobs, if they boycotted paying bills, millions of us, I think for a week, you know, again, it'd probably be mass hysteria, and like, we would need strong communities to do that. We would have to make sure that we have each other. We don't have that. But that's the only thing that I would think would like make change, is if you hit the CEOs and all these tech companies in their pocketbook. But we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We are gonna roll over. We're gonna let them put the boot at our neck. We're gonna let them squash us. We are all living a bug's life. We're all the little ants, and we are. It doesn't look like we're going to realize that we're stronger together. Said this before, but I made this joke with my BFF Camille. I'm like, we are going to have to grab the hand of a Nazi, the hand of a trans person, and we're just going to have to skip and help each other out. It's not going to matter how you identify yourself, what your political views are, what your religious views are, the race, the color of your skin. None of that crap is going to matter when you're facing food shortages. None of that crap is going to matter when you're risking homelessness, because so many sectors of the workforce have been demolished because of the tech bros. And I've never hated people more than the tech bros. I saw a picture of Sam Altman with his stupid glasses, talking about like, yeah, you know, AI is poised to get rid of a huge percentage of their workforce, with just callousness and just nothing, just no feeling towards what it would do to society, no feeling for what it would do to humanity or mental health, nothing. Just his pocketbook keeps getting bigger. How much money does this guy have? When is enough? When is it ever enough? Greed, just absolute greed. It's just disgusting. It's so pathetic. It's so disgusting. And the average person, I feel, does have good morals, right? You're gonna do some messed up things. You're gonna be like overly obedient. There's some issues there, but the average person has, in my opinion, have very good morals. Or, you know, at the very least, the average person doesn't support Pedialites, you know. And it looks like we are going to be, we're gonna be screwed. We're gonna be so screwed. I told my family members, and this was like during the Iran-Israel thing, because I was like, I really thought, I was like, it seems like World War III is brewing. And I was like, we gotta stock up on canned foods. And like, I'm sure that everyone thought that I was crazy. And they're like, look at this. That's her mental illness popping through. But I also saw something else, that is like, there is a huge labor shortage because they've gotten rid of all of the migrants. And one of the guys from Fox News was like, we need to allow child labor. We're going back to like the 1800s, the early 1900s. We're so broken. We are so broken. We're so disgusting. And the reason that things changed is because you had notable people who were like going undercover, and they were doing the work, and they were pushing social justice, actual social justice, not sitting on their ass, not putting a black square in their Instagram. I gotta do more research for these videos, but there was a woman, and she led the movement for mental health. She actually went undercover as a patient in mental institutions, and she documented how people were treated, and she was able to at least move the needle, and you know, things were changed. Things aren't perfect, there's still a lot of problems, but she was able to move the needle. And everybody has main character syndrome. Everybody's a hero of their own journey. We focused on the self. We've taken away community. We've taken away self-sacrifice. We've taken away humanity. We've taken away shame. Being shamed by your community when you're being selfish, when you're acting in your own self-interest and not everyone else. And like, you know, the thing with humans is that we do too much and not enough at the same time, right? So you don't want to shame someone just because like they're gay, or because like they're like a cool person and they're just a little different. But if someone is causing severe harm to the group, yeah, let's shame them. Let's shame them a little bit, right? You know, I'm not saying stone them to death. I'm just saying like, hey, bro, ew, not cool, man. You know, like, dude, like, I'm trying to be silly, but like, come on, like, oh, it's so frustrating, and it's so anger inducing. And I swear to God, like, I have this feeling, because I struggled with depression, anxiety for a long time, and there's a part of me that's like, I was justified because it's like I knew the bullshit was coming. You know, I saw the writing on the wall. Obviously there's a lot of reasons for why I was struggling, but it does kind of feel like a part of me was like, no, there was like an underlying current of like, shit is fucked. Shit is really, really fucked. So I don't know. I don't know how many things it's gonna take for us to all just be united and to be like them, you know? And so I think that's my big thing, why I'm telling Democrats to shut up. If the Epstein thing is gonna be what pushes MAGA people to be like, hey, the system is broken, and so then Democrats can be like, yeah, the system is broken, our guys suck, our guy sucks too, we should probably do something about that. There's a book, The Machiavellians, and I started reading it. But basically what it says is that there is no such thing as democracy. Democracy is just a ruse. It's just a guise to keep us pacified. Because what we have right now it's not democracy. There is always an elite group, or the upper echelons, or like, you know, similar to like a king or whatever, or kings, you know, that rule things, the haves and the have-nots. And we're seeing how bad things go when the haves are ruling, to the point that they are okay and comfortable with abusing children, stealing youth, stealing their lives, stealing their innocence. Children should be precious. They should be some of the most protected class of people. And we see what the upper echelon has done to children, how they've abused them, how they've mistreated them. You saw that guy on Fox News, how quickly he is to say, kids should be working in the labor force. My kid can have a childhood, but not yours. And every day I'm like, what's it gonna take? What's it gonna take? What's it gonna take for all of us to be like, yo, fuck this. We have to take care of each other. What's it gonna take? We need social justice warriors, but not the fake ones, not the ones that are haughty and on their high horse, but we need people who are like, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice. I have a green thumb. I'm gonna start like growing some stuff, and I'll help my neighbors, you know? Okay, well, I don't have that, but I'm good with my hands. I can fix things. I can help you do that. It's a pipe dream. It's a pipe dream because we are very lazy. We're very fat. We're a fat country. My doctor told me too, because I'm a little overweight. I'm not gonna say fat. I'm a little chubby right now. And the doctor was like, girl, lose some weight. And I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. I can do that, you know? But it's like, we're too comfortable. And one of the commenters was like, there's nothing wrong with comfort. There isn't. Comfort is beautiful. You need to be able to enjoy and actually enjoy your life and live and have some comfort, but not to the point that you allow the powers that be to abuse you, to abuse others, not to the point that you just roll over and you just take the broken society that they've created. That is being too comfortable. That's not okay. So yeah, I'm angry. I'm so angry and disgusted, and like it is interesting to see. I'm guessing by next week, in a week or two, I really think that he's gonna give Ghislaine her pardon. And I think that that's so bullshit. And I hope that it just rallies people together. But just be cool. We need to be united, okay? Don't get on your high horse and be like, well, you should never voted for him. Just shut up. Just shut up. Be able to be a little humble and be like, you know, hey, nice to have you on board, but you know, this side kind of sucks too. Maybe we got to do something else. You know? Be okay with thinking out the box. Be okay with acknowledging that everything's broken. There aren't a lot of heroes. There aren't all of the people that they've told us to admire, to look up to, have been garbage. Gates, Zuckerberg, Bezos, all of the politicians, Trump, Clinton, all of them, none of them are worth a damn. Because if they were really, really worth something, if they were really, truly admirable and honorable, and like they were really fostering social change, they would have killed them. That's the truth. That's the cold, hard truth. These people got too much writing on the line. Their wealth is at the expense of our children, of our well-being, of our quality of life. Wake up. Wake the fuck up. Woke didn't do shit. Woke didn't do shit. It's like being half awake, but you missed the whole part of it. It really seems like both sides. It's like both of y'all need to come together with your bullshit and wake the fuck up and learn that these institutions are broken and that we gotta work together, or at the very least rely on each other, not let them divide us with bullshit. So those are my 2 cents. It'll be interesting to see how this how the story keeps going on, right? But yeah, no, both sides should be angry at me. Be angry at me. Call me a bitch, because I'm telling you, you're both stupid. Both of you need to wake the fuck up and get shit going. And so yeah, I'll be here waiting. All right, bye guys.